Hello and welcome to the Independent Hairdressers podcast. Today we've got the wonderful Cathrine from HeadBead. Welcome. So
Thank you, Angela.
Thank you. So it's such a pleasure to have you here. And HeadBead, for all of you who may not know what this is, it's an amazing safety device that we use at the basin. Now, Cathrine is a naturopath and a remedial massage therapist. She's been doing this for many, many years. So when it comes to physiotherapy and knowing all about safety of the spine and the human body, she's the expert, and she's developed this wonderful neck rest that helps support the client's head at the basin. So Cathrine, I'd love for you to tell us a little bit about HeadBead and give us a little bit of the background about the story of how this came about and how you developed it.
Sure. Well, I'm showing my age now, but 25 years of practice. And about 12 years ago, one of my lovely clients came to me with an absolute horror of a migraine. It was debilitating. She had to stay home for a week. And I said, well, why? When did it start and why? And she said, well, she'd spent, at her favorite hairdressing. She loves to have her hair beautifully done, but she hates the basin. She said, but she had different colors put in. And she said, at the end of the session, she was just starting to have blurred vision, pins and needles down her arm. And then the next day, massive migraine. And I had seen lesser sort of types of neck injuries, shoulder injuries, where ladies had reported having been at, the hairdressers. So I did a bit of research on the medical literature, and I actually found that there were in America, New York neurologists, and in the UK, instances of strokes, actually.
Wow.
Because of the position of the head as it tilts back into a basin with all the pressure against the neck. So a human head weighs on average between 4.5 to 5 kilos. So imagine, just lift a 4-kilo weight and you'll feel it, and it's balanced on a slender neck. So when the head is tilted backwards, there's about 20 kilos of pressure on the neck vertebrae. Just the mere. Some people have been known to faint looking up at tall trees or looking up at bridges or buildings, because that kinks the blood vessels going through. And if you don't have strong neck muscle, it can get pinched and the blood flow doesn't go up to your brain and the person would faint.
Makes sense.
I think all hairdressers are very caring people, and they want their clients to have the very best experience. And a lot of you know already that people are uncomfortable at the basin, so they try and put more towels, they try and support the weight of the head themselves with one hand and then do the shampoo with the other. Yeah. And so when I looked at that and I asked myself, why don't they support the weight of the head? Then there's no pressure on the neck and the person can be comfortable at the basin. Because at the moment, what people tend to do is they drift down their chair to try and angle their head up a little bit so that the basin is further high up at the base of the head. So I was thinking, well, the best way to do that is to have a little tiny platform that supports the whole weight of the head, like a golf ball on a tee. You need a little surface area and the whole ball can just balance on that. And so we did about 2 years of research here with the top best salons in Perth, the president of Intercoiffure Australia in South Perth, Circles of Subiaco. And we just studied for about a year the best, and getting feedback from hairdressers. What would allow them to do their job the best with least interference? And that's how we came about to making the HeadBead. So you have the long neck cushion, but there's a little head platform that is attached to it.
Yeah.
And the little head platform is just enough to fit under the occipital bone, so that when the person's head reclines back, it rests on there. And the hairdresser still has 95% of the head free as usual. And then it's a little tiny surface area at the back of the head. Then they can gently tilt the head up a bit and get underneath. So it doesn't interfere with the hairdresser's job. A little adaptation to their technique, but it's so worth it for the comfort of the client and their safety as well.
Yeah.
that was the whole start of the adventure about 10 years ago.
Amazing. And do you know what? One thing that I love, because I recently purchased one from you and I love it, is the suction pads underneath, because it doesn't
That's
slip
right.
off and slip around. There's so many times I've been at the
Ex-
basin and the neck rest has slipped
yeah,
off and it's
it slipped
it's been
off.
a nightmare. So that is like
That's
game
right.
changer. Yeah.
That was another thing the hairdressers told us, is that they're sick and tired of little tiny foam tubes that slip
Yes.
off, fall off, and the person goes away from the basin and the thing drops behind the
Yeah.
basin. And they also told us that they really appreciated a longer side to it. So there's no water that drips past the side of the neck into the back collar.
Mm.
And they also appreciated a longer flap that keeps the water inside the basin and
Yes.
not, again, get underneath. So as I say, we really studied for about a year, because as I say, I'm a naturopath, I'm not a hairdresser, but listening to what the hairdressers needed
Yeah.
is what and really guided us. And the other really important thing is that each headbed comes with a little wedge that fits underneath it. There's 3 sides of wedges,
Mhm.
and that's because hairdresser may have a slightly different model of basin. Some basins are quite steep and some basins are quite shallow. So the headbed can be adapted in height to adjust the head platform up and down,
Right.
depending on what is wedge you need.
Right.
So,
Okay.
yep.
Yeah.
And some
Awesome.
hairdressers are independent, as in the mobile as well.
Mhm.
So they could be using one of those the plastic type basins. So I'll just put one for you here. So even with those portable basins, you
You can
still
still
fit a
pop them on
headbed
there.
in there.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Amazing.
And again, because when you think how skinny that edge here
Yes.
is, it really creates a lot of sort of difficulty for the person to be comfortable, because it would dig into the back of their neck.
Yeah. It's
So
so
we had
not
to think about
comfortable.
all. Exactly. And so it's a matter of thinking about what a hairdresser needs in order for them to give the client the best experience, because it's delightful to have your hair washed
Mm.
and massaged. It's one of the best things
It is.
experience
It
as
is the
being
best.
a professional hairdresser. But it should be comfortable and it should be safe. And
Yes.
with headbed, I've had so many hairdressers say, "Oh, I was thinking of buying new basins and like thousands of dollars." And said, "I got your headbed." And voila, my client said, "Oh, did you get a new basin? This is so comfortable." So it also helps with not, having to completely change your
Yeah.
basin or your shampoo basin. So I'm very, very proud of what we've achieved over
Yeah, you should
the
be.
past
It's
10 years.
amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. And it's all about creating that experience for the client. Because once they've
Yeah.
had the beautiful experience at the basin, like sometimes we're at the basin for like 20 minutes or more if we're doing toning and like beautiful head
Yes.
massage and treatments. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
creating a
this is what,
safe
yeah,
environment. Sorry, you go.
yeah. No, but I get all excited about that, because a lot of hairdressers have gone back to me and said, "You know what? Now that I have the headbed on my basin, my clients accept more services because they're comfortable."
Yes.
So they
Yep.
stay, they go, "Yes, I will have a tinting. Yes, I'll have waxing. Yes, I'll have a head massage." So very quickly, income wise, you can, get the revenue from offering more services at the basin, and the
Because
client
now they're
accepts because they're
comfortable.
comfy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't want like, "No, quick, like, get me out of there," type of thing. Or
Yeah,
else,
amazing.
they
Yep.
stay, but they suffer. And you don't want your clients to suffer. You want your clients to have the best experience.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah. So many times I've been uncomfortable if I've gone and had my hair blow dried at another salon, and I feel like
Yeah.
that. I want to just get out of there. So, yeah, creating an environment where they're so comfy and they're so like snuggled up and want to be there, then of course they're going to say yes to
Yeah.
the extra
Yeah,
treatments
that's what.
and the upsells and all the little things that you offer. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. definitely. No. And say you've picked the right sort of what's a good word? You've detected also how we are a bit more unique in terms of having the little suction cups underneath to really hold the headbed in place. So some of the hairdressers have said, we start the morning, we get the basin nice and dry and clean and dry. We place the headbed on it, and it stays there the whole day. We don't have to worry about it. So you can just sort of in between clients, you can wipe it down and dry it, and it doesn't move because it's been stuck to underneath the basin, and that doesn't move inside. And also, we have gone for medical grade silicone for the headbed. The manufacturer actually makes hospital equipment, and this type of silicone is extraordinary. It does not absorb anything. So the color, the shampoo, the bleach, anything that a hairdresser will use does not penetrate this. So some of my clients, Angela, and I'm doing myself out of business here, but they have had their headbed for years. Like, Sandy Chong, who is just retired from the AHC, she was one of the first ones when she met us at the hair expo. She discovered the headbed and she bought 5 straight away for her salon, Suki. In Sydney. And she had hers for 8 years before she replaced them. So, so I am so proud of that because it's the most sustainable item. You're not going to throw this out after 6 months because it does not deteriorate. It just is clean. The color doesn't change for years and years and years. So, as a tool of your profession, it's very, very good. And that's why Sustainable Salons Australia also promotes
recommend.
Headbed.
It's well worth the investment. Definitely worth it. I love mine at the basin, and all of my clients are really loving it too. And it's amazing.
They've noticed it.
They've noticed it. I will play around with the little wedges because I wasn't too sure on which one was for what. So I'll play around with that and the height to make sure that the comfort's really great. But the one that I put on there, it was amazing.
Most basins, 90% of basins will use the thickest wedge, the 30 mil one.
Okay.
But some people have got very stiff neck and their head cannot go back comfortably enough. So then what you can do is use an extra 20 mil wedge or 25 mil wedge, slightly smaller, and insert it in the bottom of the big one. It's like a Lego.
They can double up. Right.
That's right. They can double up. So you can then raise the head platform a little bit higher to make it more comfortable for the person's head to come back.
Perfect.
But mostly it's the 30 mil wedge that goes in. It fits most basins. And you can just leave it like that. Unless, as I say, some people prefer their head further back. So then you just insert your finger underneath there. You just pop it out, and then you choose a smaller one. It takes like 5 seconds to do, and then you insert the smaller one in there, like so. So you can adapt and adjust a bit. Or if you have those portable plastic basins that are very shallow, very thin, you just use the smallest wedge.
The smallest wedge. But perfect.
Yeah. You can play around by lifting or dropping the head platform by using the wedges. And if you have very, very deep basins, then some people use the thickest 30 mil wedge plus a little 20 mil wedge inserted. And so the head platform is at the best angle for the person's neck and head going back. It's always trying to find out with the person. And you may have felt it yourself with your washing technique. As your hands come around the head of the person going towards the nape, you suddenly think, oh, there's a little block there. So it's a little bit of an unusual feeling. So the technique is, and this is the wonderful experience I've had, the Vidal Sassoon Training Academy in London. They took our headbeds in the beginning because the lady who was the director of the training academy had a niece in Perth. So we rocked up to them and said, hi, we're from Perth. Can you test our headbeds? That was like 12 years ago. And she did it for a month, and then she wrote back to us and she said, fantastic, we love them. Clients are so comfortable and our lecturers love them. And she said, but make sure that you tell people using a headbed on their basin. The technique is to roll the head to the side a little bit and bring the hands and the fingers into that part under the occipital bone, and then roll the head to the other side. Same thing. You do the same thing with the water, the little shower head. You bring the water from the side. And also when you really need to reach the nape of the neck, you just tilt the head up a little bit. But make sure the skin stays in contact with the curve of the headbed. So the skin always stays in contact there.
Yeah.
Then no water can drip past and down the back of the person.
Yeah, so it's a drama when they sit forward
to the technique.
Yeah.
If they sit forward,
then it's
but they usually sit forward because they're uncomfortable.
Yes.
They try and wriggle. But once you explain to them, sit right back in your chair. Just say, we have a new head support, fancy neck cushion now. So you sit right back in your chair and then trust, and then slowly lower their head onto the headbed. And then they go, oh, yeah. So they stay there. And then you, the hairdresser, you're in control of the head. You just gently turn it from side to side. Tell them to just let go of their head, and you will gently carry it. And then you tilt forward a bit, get underneath the nape, and then put it back down again.
Yeah.
So it's slightly new technique, but very useful.
No, it's so good. I've definitely done something very similar to that when I'm washing at the basin, and I'm finding less people are getting water down the back, because sometimes, you know, a little bit will trickle down because they move. So definitely, and not having that, people are a lot more comfortable at the basin, and it's definitely not slipping off, which was one of the pet hates of mine. It would slip off and be a disaster. But I'm doing a lot more treatments at the basin now because people are comfortable. So I'm all about, you know, up leveling your services in the salon, so then you can increase your value in the salon for the clients. Because when clients come back to you time and time again because of how they feel in your salon, not so much how good of a hairdresser you are, but it's how they feel in their salon. So if you can create an experience that is comfortable, relaxing, and they just feel so relaxed and beautiful in your salon, well, then they're going to come back time and time again and tell their friends time and time again. So
referral levels will
go up. And the headbed is definitely an increase in the value of the salon. So I am very happy with mine. But thank you so much for inventing this such amazing product.
It was so unexpected, I must say. I didn't expect to get into it, but as I started to talk to hairdressers and go to their salons, I was fascinated, because you people are such creative, you're artists, and you help make people feel good and feel beautiful. And so to me, my contribution was, well, how can I make the basin experience the most comfortable and the safest from a health point of view? And it became a passion project, really.
Amazing.
And also with every headbed that we sell, we send the buyer a little certificate, so whether they use that on their social media. So basically we're saying to them, use it on your socials, because just tell your clients that our basins are equipped with the headbed. So in advance, you let them know we have something different here, which we've invested in for your comfort, for your safety. And so, you know, it's just a little plus for the salon as well.
100%.
It all because I mean, the French always say you have to suffer to be beautiful, and I'm going, no. The glamour should be comfortable.
Agreed on that one. Totally.
Agreed. Yeah. So that's the background of the headbed, Angela, and I'm so grateful for all. And the more experienced the hairdresser I find, the quickest that they take to the headbed. They realize straight away the advantage of having this on their basin, because it protects their client and they can do their job. And they adapt the technique of washing so quickly, because it's obvious.
It's ever so slight little minute thing that you do at the basin, a little bit different, but it's nothing major. Nothing major at all. It's amazing. Definitely worth the investment. So I will have the link below to anybody who wants to check out HeadBead. It's definitely worth the investment. And yeah, check it out. But yeah, thank you so much, Cathrine, for coming on the podcast today. I really wanted to share this with all of the independent community because I know that so many of us are wanting to increase the value in our salons and create a unique experience. And this is definitely going to create a beautiful, unique experience for the customers. So thank you so much.
It's a great pleasure. Thank you, Angela.
No worries.
Cheers.